Professional you know you can be. Call today.
The following is a rebroadcast of Fox 59 News at 10. Now at 10 on Fox 59 News.
It continues hot in central Indiana tonight. The heat index still in the 90s, even hotter weather coming our way, but thunderstorms too. We'll let you know when they'll bring a cool down coming up.
Outrage tonight after some Indiana school children are left on the bus in this intense heat. We're on it tonight. We're asking the questions, and the school district is responding.
New concerns about keeping animals off the streets in central Indiana.
They said that they please hold the dogs and they would dispatch someone to come out and pick them up.
We're digging for answers about why it took so long for officers to respond.
Plus, a little boy fights off a dog twice his size. What his parents say saved his life. Fox 59 News at 10 starts right now.
Live from Indianapolis, presented in high definition, this is Fox 59 News at 10.
And get ready because it is getting hotter. An excessive heat watch is in effect for central Indiana right now. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Fanchon Stinger.
And I'm Gene Cox in for Bob Donaldson. For the 20th time this season, temperatures jumped above 90 degrees. And for the 7th time, the heat index topped out at 100.
That means the heat can be dangerous right now, even deadly. We have team coverage for you tonight. Heather McWilliams is on it. Why were children left on a school bus in this extreme weather? We are getting answers, but we begin right now with Fox 59 Chief Meteorologist Brian Wilkes. He's been tracking this for us all evening. So, Brian, what's the word?
It is still steamy even at this hour. Good evening, everyone. The temperature's in the mid-80s. The humidity took off this morning as forecast, and that combined with the high temperature today of 95 produced a heat index of 101 here in the city. Still 85 officially. Our high today 95, as warm as 94 in Terre Haute, 93 in Columbus and Bloomington. That dew point, that measure of moisture in the atmosphere, is back into the low 70s. That's tropical air, and when you combine that with highs in the 90s, well, you get a heat index of over 100. And even at this hour, the heat index is at 91 here in the city. An excessive heat watch in effect for Tuesday afternoon. It looks like our heat index will probably get back into the low 100s. We'll let you know when this heat is going to peak and how thunderstorms will bring some relief for us coming up in just a few minutes.
New tonight, outrage from parents who say their kids were left on the bus outside in sweltering heat. Our team coverage continues with Fox 59's Heather McWilliams. She's live with the school's explanation for the delay. Heather.
Well, it's 10 o'clock tonight and it's still 85 degrees. It's pretty sticky and uncomfortable out here. But can you imagine being one of the hundreds of students at Hattie B. Stokes Elementary School who were stuck on a sweltering bus for 45 minutes with no air conditioning?
I thought my first day of school was going to be I can't believe I'm saying this, but I thought it was going to be a blast.
11-year-old Alexa Kripe will never forget her first day of school, and not for a good reason.
Smelly, stinky, and I almost passed out.
For 45 minutes, Alexa and hundreds of other students were forced to sit on a sweltering hot bus while school officials tried to correct a transportation mix-up. But when a half an hour went by and Alexa still wasn't home, her mother panicked and drove to the school.
Where the windows were open, the kids had their heads sticking out, and you could see their red cheeks, and you could see that they were very hot. I didn't see anybody with a bottle of water.
After Kara Kripe pulled Alexa off the bus, she pressed administrators for an explanation. But she says they brushed it off as no big deal.
It is illegal for me to leave my child in the car. It is illegal for school to do the same.
Darren Matthews has his own opinion.
The school just doesn't care anymore. That's what it's come down to, is the school just doesn't care anymore.
When his 8-year-old son didn't come home Monday afternoon, he thought the school lost him. Again.
Last year they lost him. He was supposed to go to grandma's and they sent him home.
As a result, he bought his son a tracking device, but it still didn't prevent his son from nearly getting heat stroke.
He's red and hot and tired and doesn't understand why he's sitting outside when, he's supposed to be home.
Now parents and students alike hope the problem is straightened out before someone winds up in the hospital.
If you let something like that slide on a 94-degree day with the excessive heat, what else is sliding?
The Lebanon superintendent didn't agree to an on-camera interview, but he released the following statement. Quote, "The students were delayed as a result of both transportation and school staff members ensuring that all students were placed on the correct buses. Students were delayed by approximately 30 to 35 minutes. Normal bus loading time is about 10 to 15 minutes after dismissal. No future delays are anticipated. School staff remained with students at all times to make sure each child was correctly placed on the appropriate bus. And as far as we know, no one received medical attention today." Reporting live on the west side, Heather McWilliams, Fox 59 News at 10.
And the heat causing problems at the Indiana State Fair happening all week. The Red Cross says it's treated hundreds of people for heat-related illness. Fair organizers have set up tents and those cold misters along the midway, offering some temporary relief. Exhibitors are also working hard to keep the animals cool and out of the sun. Stay tuned to Fox 59 News. Brian's extended outlook is coming up. Plus, you can get the latest forecast, weather alerts, and warnings sent directly to your phone. Be sure to sign up at fox59.com.
And the search is on right now for the third man in a trio that hit a Broad Ripple bank today. Two suspects wearing masks robbed the Key Bank at 62nd and College. It happened around 1 this afternoon. Police say the two men grabbed the money, ran out of the bank, and got into a car driven by a third man. You're looking at surveillance pictures there. Now that car crashed into a fence a little more than a block away from the bank. Police are telling us tonight the suspects ditched the car after the accident, and one of them may have used another car to get away. Two of the suspects are in police custody tonight. One was arrested on 62nd Street, just south of the accident. And people who live in this neighborhood were not put on lockdown, but they say it seemed like police were everywhere in just minutes.
Saw several police cars, as you can see, 5 or 6 police cars cruising around with their lights flashing but without sirens. And then there was a brief struggle in front of the house across the street, and they've got some kind of suspect in custody.
No word tonight on exactly how much money the robbers made off with or if it's been recovered, but we do know no one in the bank was hurt. And a Metro police officer is sore tonight after this crash near the state fairgrounds. He was actually on his way to that bank robbery with his lights and sirens on when he T-boned a BMW at 38th and Fall Creek. This is the intersection where it happened. The woman driving that BMW apparently didn't even see the police car. She was not hurt. The officer, however, suffered a sprained ankle and some bruises from his airbag deploying. Gene?
Fancy new video tonight of a central Indiana sheriff accused of being on the wrong side of the law. Hancock County Sheriff Bud Gray bonded out of jail this afternoon, managed to avoid cameras for his initial hearing. But tonight, Fox 59's Kimberly King has the video of the sheriff inside the jail. You'll only see right here.
This is video obtained exclusively by Fox 59 News of Sheriff Bud Gray getting booked Friday at the Hamilton County Jail.
We're not treating him any different than we do any other inmate.
And just like every other inmate, the sheriff knows the drill. Deputies walked Gray into the processing center. They're then seen uncuffing the sheriff from a chain around his waist to his hands. They then pat him down around his chest, torso, legs, and his feet.
While he has been here, he's made no threats to any of our staff here at the sheriff's office.
But that's just what investigators say he did to co-workers in his own county investigating him. The sheriff is then walked to the counter on the other side of the process center and then stands for a bit while officers work around him. And then a few minutes later, we see an emotional moment. The sheriff is standing with one of his own, Major Mitch Popoff of Hancock County. The major, clearly a good friend of Sheriff Gray, then moves towards him and embraces him. Two men who know one is in deep trouble. Fox 59 has also learned the sheriff may have been drunk when he was arrested at Indiana Live Casino.
When he came in, there was some smell of alcohol.
Did people smell alcohol on his breath when he was booked?
It's been reported to me, yes.
The sheriff spent his weekend in this individual, what's called a medical cell. The cell has a huge window right across from deputies standing where they can monitor him. We saw a small laundry basket of what appeared to be his belongings, including a book.
He feels confident that whatever is going on in this investigation, that I believe he feels pretty confident that this will be cleared up to his benefit in the end.
A difficult time for those who know Gray, a sheriff now on the other side of the law. Kimberly King, Fox 59 News at 10.
The sheriff is accused of trying to influence an investigation into his alleged misuse of public money. He's hired well-known defense attorney here in Indianapolis, Jim Boyles, to represent him in the case. Currently in Indiana, only a county coroner has the power to arrest a sheriff. But the Howard County Sheriff wants to change that. Marty Talbot thinks any police officer who is authorized to serve warrants should have that power. Talbot says, quote, if a sheriff is charged with a crime or commits a crime in the presence of an officer, he should face the consequences of arrest just as any other citizen would. Now, the current law needs to be changed for accountability and credibility, end quote. He is asking the Indiana Sheriff's Association to push for a law change.
An update right now to a Fox 59 crime tracker alert just a few weeks after we told you about what residents call a rise in crime in Broad Ripple. Police are now investigating another attack. 3 people say they were robbed and pistol whipped Sunday morning near 60th and Winthrop. The victims tell police 3 men approached them and asked for everything they had. One of the victims says she tried to run, but the suspects caught her and forced her to the ground. They stole a purse, credit cards, a cell phone, and car keys. Well, nearly 24 people are busted for dogfighting, and tonight they could be facing even more trouble. Right now, they are all charged with a misdemeanor count of attending an animal fighting contest. But police say additional charges are likely in this one. The 23 suspects were arrested at a home on West 16th Street on Friday. You see the garage there, where officers say pit bulls were fighting in an arena when they arrived. 9 dogs were confiscated. The suspects will appear in court Wednesday morning. And Colts player John Gill, who you see here, plans to go into rehab following his arrest for public intoxication. That is the word from team president Bill Polian. The defensive tackle was arrested early yesterday morning after Metro police officers found him passed out in a ditch. Charges against the 23-year-old have been dropped as of tonight, although Marion County prosecutor Carl Brizzi isn't explaining why. Gill is still on the team, but is not expected to play this season. Polian says he expects the NFL to place him on a special roster list that would keep him inactive.
IPS is cracking down on students who miss too much school. Superintendent says the district usually begins the school year with as many as 4,000 students missing from the classroom. They have a new attendance policy that's going to make it a little more difficult for students to miss classes or show up late. If students have 7 unexcused absences during the school year, the district will report that information to Child Protective Services.
I will push and demand that that young person is with us when they're supposed to be, because that we have what they need in order for them to be successful.
Indianapolis public school students' first day is Wednesday. For a complete list of school start dates, make sure you check out our back to school section. It's on fox59.com. You'll also find plenty of advice for parents, including how to build better relationships with teachers.
Well, a teenager is killed after being hit by a car.
He squeezed my hand twice.
And there was a...
Heartbreaking for any parent. Fox 59 is taking action for you tonight. What his parents say may have caused that accident, and the push now to make it safe.
But first, he rescued 2 dogs and wanted animal care and control to take them away, but instead had to take care of them for another day. We're on it, digging for answers on the response to this delay.
It's a steamy night in the city. The heat index still above 90 degrees. Temperatures this afternoon in the mid-90s. It's going to get even hotter and more humid before thunderstorms arrive. We'll let you know how hot it's going to get and when storms could cool us off coming up.
And girls hitting puberty earlier than ever before. We're going to tell you why this is happening and what you can do as a parent to help control it. We're back in 2 minutes.
We are a very exciting couple.
That's what I said.
2 extraordinary mysteries.
There must be a connection, obviously.
On one night.
I need a thrill.
Fox Thursday. The thrill is on. Bones at 8.
Bingo.
Fringe at 9.
They're here.
We're on our way.
That was creepy.
This is fun. Except for the murder.
This September, Bones and Fringe are all new. The thrill is on Fox Thursday.
Don't trust your healthcare to a .com. Use an MD, Indy.MD. Just enter your symptoms and Indy.MD matches you with local doctors, specialists, health news, and information, all with just one click. Indy.MD.
My name is Nathaniel Carpenter. I am an information systems analyst. Well, I got my education from ITT Technical Institute. My wife thinks that my choice to go to ITT Tech has definitely helped me to reach the goals that I have to be able to pick and choose where we want to go and also the lifestyle that we want to live.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web.
You get hurt in a car wreck and you're gonna have some questions. Isn't it true the insurance company wants to pay you the most amount of money possible? Is it true Ken Nunn wants to get you the most amount of money possible? Is it true your case can settle without even having to go to court?
If you have questions about your car wreck, I have answers. Just call me.
Ken Nunn has the answers. He'll fight to get you the settlement you really deserve.
I'm attorney Ken Nunn. I have the answers. Call me. It's just that easy.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN. A unique bond exists between people and their pets. Dogs and cats become more than just pets, they become members of the family. Sometimes they get sick and even need emergency attention. And because you love them so much, you want to give them the best care possible. That's why there's IVEC, Indianapolis Veterinary Emergency Center, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because emergencies don't always fit into your schedule. We're there to help. IVEC, we're there when you need us.
Why should you choose Brown Mackie College?
Faculty and staff are here for you, academically and personally.
Part of this support is making school manageable. One course a month allows time for life and school.
They're like a family, dedicated to you and your success.
So choose Brown Mackie College for your education. It's just what you've been looking for.
Call Brown Mackie College Indianapolis today at 1-866-236-4169. Call now.
Indianapolis's largest showcase of food and drink. Visit devourdowntown.org to view participating restaurants and their specially priced menus.
New tonight, a real-life 48 hours for this Indianapolis man, and he is pointing fingers tonight. He says he waited 2 days for animal control to pick up a mom and pup that he rescued. The problem is, he says animal control never even came. Fox 59's Tisha Lewis joins us with more on the fallout. And Tisha, how did this all happen?
Little to say about this one. In fact, they did not give us access to the dogs seized over the weekend, in their words, citing an ongoing investigation. But there is a but. We did find this, a virtual home for the Indianapolis Animal Control. 74 dogs listed, mainly putts and pugs, but we did not find the dog in question troublesome to this man.
There's Roger, but the status of the black and brown German Shepherd Chow mix mom and puppy remains a mystery. Gary Richardson says he saved the pair from being struck by speeding cars on Rockville Road.
I'm sure there are good people working at the animal control shelter, but someone's dropping the ball on the response time.
No answer regarding the 48-hour response time from Indianapolis Animal Care and Control. Gary says he rescued the dogs, then called them. Not once, not twice, 3 is nice, but try 4 times.
What did they say?
They said that they please hold the dogs and they would dispatch someone to come out and pick them up. We finally got a call Saturday afternoon asking if they were still here, because then they would come and pick them up. And I said no.
By then, Richardson dropped the dogs off here at the shelter after turning this backyard into a temporary home and providing food, water, and safety.
It wouldn't be an issue if they'd have just been up front with me. And said, we don't know if we can be there in the next day or 2. I went back today to see if I could get some information on how the dogs were doing, and they would not allow me to see the dogs at all.
If you come in here, because you've lost your dog, you can go back there and see if you can find your dog. But we don't let just anybody just walk through the dogs.
But we were given access to the adoption kennel, but not the 92-cage investigation kennel where the dogs Gary rescued are being held. Animal Control did address staffing. Maura Leone says we recently hired 5 new officers, bringing our total up from 13 to 18. We have 2 remaining vacancies that have just been posted internally per the union contract.
I'm just concerned that other folks that are trying to do the right thing are being fibbed to.
Despite the lack of information coming from Animal Control, we did find this. It's a press release from November 17th, 2009. It says, since August, the average response time for any call for service in Marion County peaked at approximately 55 hours during the month of September. By the end of October, that number had decreased to its present rate of approximately 45 hours. It goes on to say that in dangerous situations, the response time is less than 2 hours. It's also important to note that the commenting availability was limited because most of the workers for animal control are away in Ohio for training. That's the very latest from the Fox59.com Center. Tisha Lewis, Fox 59 News at 10.
A woman with Indiana ties is one of 6 Americans gunned down in Afghanistan. 32-year-old Cheryl Beckett, a graduate of Indiana Wesleyan University. She specialized in nutritional gardening and mother-child health. She arrived in Afghanistan in 2005 to help the people there in need. 10 people total were killed by the Taliban just a few days ago.
We were non-political. Right. We were a medical team, and that was it. You don't pull out when people are being killed.
The aid workers were attacked after finishing up a 2-week mission working with less fortunate villagers. The mission group in charge of the project says it has no plans to leave the country. A former Indiana congressman admits he broke the law by smuggling people into the United States. Joel Deckard, who's now 68, admits he spent 4 months illegally getting Brazilian families across the Canadian border. The Republican said he worked with 8 families in late 2007 and early 2008. Deckard represented East and Southeastern Indiana from 1979 to 1983. He lost re-election after an alcohol-related car crash.
Well, traffic lights across Marion County are going green. Crews are now installing energy-efficient LEDs in traffic signals. Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard says the lights will save the city money because they use less energy and they don't have to be fixed as often. He also says they're brighter than the old traffic signals. The money to pay for the upgrade is coming from Energy Efficiency and Conservation, a grant that they received.
How about some solar lights? You know,
Yeah.
It could really get a real work going on this time of year.
Well, you know it's very hot outside, and if you go to our website, fox59.com, you can upload pictures on how you're staying cool. We'd love to see how creative people get, because you need to be creative to stay cool in this weather, right, Brian?
I suppose. I can only imagine how many people will send in pictures of funny things, you know. Let me just put it this way. Alcohol is not a way to cool off in the heat. Let's just leave it at that. Good evening, everyone. It is a sticky night again in central Indiana. 90 degrees is the downtown temperature. That's downtown right now. It's as cool as 81 in Mount Comfort. Temperatures are in the low 80s at LaPel. 85 in Greenwood right now, and 80 in Beech Grove at this hour. And it is, everyone is feeling the humidity. That's a live look from the Terry Lee Honda Tower camera. Down to Victory Field, just a sticky night. This humidity is back. It's back in a big way, and it's going to stick around. We're in a heat wave, or at least the beginning of one. They've had it in the Central Plains several times this year. We're not alone. They even have a heat wave going in Russia. Our humidity is high. It will stay humid tonight. Haze and fog is already in the air. The haze is out there. We've got reports out of Frankfurt that the fog is beginning to thicken up. And there are some at least indications that a few thunderstorms could rumble into parts, especially of northwest Indiana, toward the pre-dawn hours. It will be hot again tomorrow. Hazy sunshine will combine with that high humidity and produce a heat index well over 100 degrees. And scattered thunderstorms begin to show up on the maps here tomorrow afternoon and again on Wednesday and Thursday. Dew points at 71, the current temperature at 85. Temperatures running in the 80s for the most part across much of central Indiana, the exception Bloomington at 75. Our heat index is still at 91. Excessive heat watch is in effect for all of central Indiana tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms are showing up, not a big deal. Better chance for those storms showing up here tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy, isolated thunder shower in the area will diminish. They were out to our north. 74 the low. Tomorrow's high 96. Heat index could peak at 103 to 109. There is relief in the 7-day forecast. We'll outline that for you coming up in the next half hour.
Can't wait to hear about that. Thank you, Brian. Well, a new study is linking obesity to girls hitting puberty much earlier than the teen years. Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center researchers examined nearly 1,200 7- and 8-year-old girls in Cincinnati, New York, and San Francisco. They found approximately 10% of white girls and 23% of African American girls started developing breasts by age 7. That is a 5% increase in white girls and an 8% increase in African American girls from 1997 until now. The findings suggest being overweight as a young child and into the teen years is definitely a factor in early puberty. The report can be found in the journal Pediatrics.
All Indiana school children are required to get vaccinated before heading back to school, but students in the state's largest district could go back before getting their shots. We are on it with vaccine policy designed to get kids back in the seats.
But first, making sure the seafood you buy for your family is safe following the Gulf oil spill. We're going to show you why someone's nose may be your best protection. We'll be back in just a minute.
Dude, check this out. I want to show you something really cool on fox59.com. This is our new classified section, and it's killer. You post once and promote everywhere. Let's say you want to sell a used iPhone. You click here, pick your category, fill out the info, your price, description, even a picture. You don't need a password. Just log on through Twitter, Facebook, Yahoo, Google, whatever account you already use. Fox 59's classified section uses it too. You can email it or post it in newspapers. Click your options and ka-ching, you get an email saying your iPhone is online and on sale. Oh, if you want to search stuff for sale, just type what you're looking for in the search bar and ta-da, you're shopping online. Plus, it's local, so you can pick it up today. So dude, hop on to fox59.com today and get selling and get shopping. It's awesome.
Folks, this is Captain, and since we'll be about 10 minutes late, the flight attendant will be handing out cash.
Wouldn't it be great if you got paid every time somebody was late? At Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, you'll get paid even if we're 1 minute late. If there's any delay, it's you we pay. Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, the punctual plumber. Call today. Register to win $100,000 and more at win100grand.com.
If you were hurt on a job site, you may already know what's at stake. You can't work, you can't make money. It's that simple. Who's going to pay your bills? There is a law firm that is focused on getting you everything you deserve. You need a lawyer that understands the complexities of construction site accidents. If you've been injured on a construction site, tell them you mean business. Call 1-800-2-KELLER, Keller & Keller, right now.
Whether you need to make an everyday home repair or want to make a home improvement, choose the professional handyman services of New Look Home Services. From drywall repair and patching to replacing a light fixture or even repairing your porch or roof, interior or exterior, you need to call New Look Home Services, where our handyman can. Our handymen take pride in helping homeowners solve problems big and small. We'll respond quickly to your call and will always stand behind our work. Call today and set up an appointment, because with New Look Home Services, whatever you need, our handyman can. Call now and receive $50 off your first repair.
I love my new job where I'm helping people and making a difference. But what I love the most is being able to spend quality time with her. Before I earned my degree, most of our time was spent here, not quality. So I made a decision and got my education. Now, my career allows more time for the important things. Are you getting one scoop or two?
Two.
Brown Mackie College, Indianapolis. 1-866-236-4170. Discover how one course a month schedules can work for you. Call now.
100 feet and counting. Crews building a relief well in the Gulf of Mexico are on track to finish their work within the week. The relief well is being built next to a formerly broken well that spilled millions of gallons of oil into the Gulf. It's now less than 100 feet from intercepting that main well. Once the two are connected, cement will be pumped into the blown out well. The cost of containing and cleaning up the oil spill now stands at right around $6 billion. Wow. Yes. Wow. Inspectors are working hard to make sure the seafood on your table is not contaminated by any of that oil that's in the Gulf.
So how are they exactly doing this? Well, that may surprise you. Orlando Salinas shows us.
Apalachicola, Florida, and a room full of so-called seafood sniffers are training their honkers, learning to be the first layer of defense against possible oil-tainted seafood from the 200 million gallon BP spill, smelling the difference between good and bad, hoping consumers feel confident and start buying Gulf seafood again.
When you open up a package of meat, you're smelling it. And so this is just one of those added steps to assure buyers that, yes, it's been screened and it's safe to eat.
Folks across the industry are taking this course, learning to smell out bad seafood almost at the dock, right in front of the fishermen, way before it ever gets to market or served at a restaurant. Here's an honest number. Nationwide, there are only 4 labs nationally certified to test for petroleum-tainted seafood. Getting suspicious product tested in time with those numbers is just about impossible. That's why officials say these seafood sniffer courses are a very important first step. On this day, shrimp and red grouper are being passed around along with other odors.
Putrid. You want to smell it?
To date, inspectors say no oil-tainted seafood has made it to market, and the sniffer's course only adds another voluntary layer of inspection.
This is a way of proving to the public who are very risk adverse that this seafood is safe and it is okay to eat and that to come back and enjoy it.
Orlando Salinas, Fox News.
Fascinating. Well, it's a popular hobby, but it may actually have saved a little boy's life.
Rapace, Fox 59 News, first at 4.
This 7-year-old boy covered with stitches. Wait until you hear how he escaped a vicious attack by a pit bull.
But first, a family searching for answers tonight after their son is hit by a car and dies. We are taking action for you. What they say may have contributed to their son's death and what they are doing about it to protect you and your family.
Hitting the gridiron in the heat. A heat wave gripping central Indiana. We'll show you how student athletes are keeping cool, plus Brian's extended forecast when we come back.
We are taking action for you tonight. Parents calling for change after the death of their teenage son. When an East Side teenager was hit and killed by a minivan 2 weeks ago, his parents say their biggest fear about living along a busy street came true. Tonight, there's a cry for change. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid is live at the scene of the accident. Russ, what's happening?
Well, if you see this light, this is about the only light you're going to see in the middle of this block on East 30th Street. I mean, you can look over my shoulder. It's pretty dark up there. They could use a street light in the middle of this block. It was dark the night that boy ran across the street. He was struck and killed. As an Indianapolis firefighter told me, he called the Mayor's Action Center, which promised it would get IPL on this right away, find out what's wrong with these streetlights. The family says, hey, that's great news, but it still won't bring our son back. One dispatch tapes.
My brother got hit by a car. I'm so sorry. Ow, don't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She hit him and he rolled up the front of the minivan and hit his head on the brace where the windshield and the top of the car meet, and then was thrown off. And he landed here in our ditch.
Now a memorial marks the spot where Tammy rushed to her son's side.
He squeezed my hand twice.
And there was the speed limit along this stretch of East 30th Street between German Church and Midhofer is 40 miles per hour, but Jacob's family says traffic often moves faster.
We have cars racing up and down the road at sometimes 50, 60 miles an hour, motorcyclists.
And that tragic congestion can cause problems for firefighters responding to crashes like the one that killed Jacob.
They've almost been broadsided several times. People don't pull over to the side of the road half the time. They just slow down and keep cruising along slowly while the fire department's trying to get through.
And this candle comes from a memorial that's in the front yard of Jacob's family, remembering their son. Now, I talked to IPL tonight. They said they'll come out, they'll take a look at these lights. The family says, surprise, in the last couple days, 4 more lights have gone on. If you're in a neighborhood, street lights aren't working, you can log on to iplpower.com. Let them know you want the lights turned back on. On the east side, Russ McQuaid, Fox 59 News at 10.
All right, Russ, thank you. Our hearts go out to that family tonight. Also tonight, Fountain County authorities are waiting on autopsy results to determine if a man involved in a domestic dispute killed himself. Deputies were called to this home near the Montgomery County line just before 6 a.m. A child reportedly called 911 saying his parents were arguing. As the boy and his mother left the house, the woman said she heard what she thought was a gunshot. The Crawfordsville SWAT team eventually went inside and found the man dead. Deputies were called to a domestic dispute involving that same family 4 years ago. Gene?
If you're just joining us, here's a look at our top stories tonight. Indianapolis Animal Care and Control is under fire after a man says he called for help that never came. Gary Richardson rescued a dog and her pup and called Animal Care and Control to come get the animals. When they still hadn't shown up the next day, he brought the dogs in himself. Now, Animal Care and Control would not comment on the case, only saying they have hired more officers. A Hancock County sheriff accused of obstruction of justice is out of jail tonight, but only Fox 59 has video of his time in jail. You can see him being booked Friday night. Check out more of the video on fox59.com. And the big story of the night, excessive heat. Parents in Lebanon are outraged after their children were left on hot school buses for about 30 minutes while administrators made sure all the kids were in the right places. The school says no future delays are expected. And in another school district, coaches are making sure they take extra precaution to protect students from the heat before and after school. Number 89 soaking up some sunshine for these Brownsburg High School football players. They'd be happy to see 89 on the practice time thermometer.
I like it when it's about 65, 70 degrees in the middle of the day.
Senior Kennedy Hill is going to have to wait on that feeling until the middle of the season. For safety reasons, this week, he and the rest of his team will hit the field early or late, but not right after school.
We were on the field this morning before 8. We pushed today's practice, the afternoon practice, back
to 7 p.m. Coach Brett Comer has a secret weapon in the fight against heat illness and dehydration.
Having the kids hydrate themselves all day. You see kids walking through here with a gallon water jug. That's everybody has a water jug. They put it in a locker before they go to practice. So
they dole out plenty of Gatorade and an occasional treat.
Coach Comer, he's good to us. Earlier today, we got flavor ices after practice.
The helmet and the shoulder pads add an extra concern for me.
That is trainer Wes Harris. He's always happy to see the pads off from time to time on the field. The heat safety advice is distributed beyond the gridiron as well.
We keep an eye on soccer, our cross-country team, our tennis teams, and we keep in contact with those coaches.
To be extra sure, athletes are weighed before and after practice. No room for error when young lives are on the line. The IHSAA has a heat index calculator and safety chart that applies to anyone wanting to exercise outdoors, especially this week. We have a link to the IHSAA info right now in the link section of fox59.com.
Tonight, an Indianapolis-based builder faces a federal lawsuit accused of violating the Fair Housing Act. The National Fair House Alliance says 16 SC Bonder properties in 8 states violated the law. That suit says several apartment buildings have inaccessible entrances, environmental controls beyond the reach of wheelchair users, and high thresholds, making it difficult to go room to room. Well, a convicted killer with ties right here to Indiana has been captured following a prison break in Arizona and an all-out manhunt. Tracy Providence, who you see here, was caught in Wyoming today, about an hour away from Yellowstone National Park. Federal agents think he may have been headed right here to see family in Indiana. The search is continuing, however, for John McCluskey, who escaped with Province. He was serving time for attempted murder. Police say McCluskey's fiancee, Caslin Welch, helped them break out. The trio allegedly killed an elderly couple in New Mexico just this weekend and stole their pickup truck.
We are going to be on McCluskey like a cheap suit. We are not going to pull this thing down. We're going to have the entire resources of the U.S. Marshal Service nationally on these individuals till we bring them to justice.
Now, a third man escaped from the medium security facility with Province and McCluskey on July 30th. That prisoner was caught after a shootout with police in Colorado.
In Columbus, organizers say they still need thousands of dollars to provide school supplies to students that will go without. Spokesperson for the School Supply Assistance Project in Bartholomew County says so far they've been able to help 2,000 students and expect hundreds more will register in the next week. So far, the group has spent $35,000 buying up supplies. Now, to make matters worse, $11,000 in supplies bought on a clearance sale last year were destroyed when the United Way of Bartholomew County building caught fire this Christmas Eve. If you'd like to help, you sure can do it. Email the organizers at the email address you see on your screen, info@lcnfc.org. We'll have that email address on our website in this story. IPS students return to class on Wednesday. Many parents are now scrambling to get their children vaccinated before they head back to school. A new state law requires children in 6th through 12th grades to get immunizations for whooping cough and meningitis, along with 2 doses of the chickenpox vaccine. If your child doesn't have the required shots by Wednesday, don't worry. In Indianapolis, IPS officials are giving parents until September 20th to show proof of the immunization.
We want them to understand that we want their children to have the best start to the academic year. We don't want to keep them out of school because the longer they're out of school, they fall behind.
Officials say parents of kids who have been vaccinated shouldn't worry. The deadline extension does not pose a health risk.
Well, this is a story you will definitely want to see. A little boy viciously attacked.
Fox 59 News,
How
first
he
at 4.
escaped and what happened to the dog that left him with 60 stitches. Brian?
The heat index expansion at this hour is still 91 degrees. And if you thought this afternoon was hot, hang on, it's going to get even hotter tomorrow. An excessive heat watch is in effect for tomorrow. Thunderstorms in the forecast and a major pattern change too. I'll let you know when it will occur coming up.
The Fever roll with the punches and elbows to regain first place in the Eastern Conference. I'll explain that in just a bit. Plus, a different look for the Colts as they prepare for Sunday's preseason opener.
The final countdown as summer winds down. Now's the time to cash in on travel deals all around the country. You'll find out where to get them.
Heat and humidity make for a dangerous mix. Just how high temperatures will go, and I'm timing out when thunderstorms return.
And pretty ponies. Sherman brings them to you live from the Traders Point Horse Show. Come join us tomorrow morning.
You're a con man, son, and you are better at it than anybody I have ever met in my entire life.
I don't want to live like this anymore, Dad. I want something real.
I've always taught you, you can play any character you want. Never play yourself. That's what lets you walk away when the time is right.
I love you. You're amazing. That's why I married you.
She's not your real wife. She's the mark. She is our way into a multi-million-dollar corporation so we can clean it out.
Not a single thing happens in this company. I don't see it coming.
Bob's family now. I'll take care of Bob.
You gotta get out now.
I'm in love, Dad.
Who are you in love with, son? Your fake wife or your fake girlfriend?
Both.
Dude, check this out. I want to show you something really cool on fox59.com. This is our new classified section, and it's killer. You post once and promote everywhere. Now, let's say you want to sell a used iPhone. You click here, pick your category, fill out the info, your price, description, even a picture. You don't need a password. Just log on through Twitter, Facebook, Yahoo, Google, whatever account you already use. Fox 59's classified section uses it too. You can email it or post it in newspapers. Click your options and ka-ching, you get an email saying your iPhone is online and on sale. Oh, if you want to search stuff for sale, just type what you're looking for in the search bar and ta-da, you're shopping online. Plus, it's local, so you can pick it up today. So dude, hop on to fox59.com today and get selling and get shopping. It's awesome.
If you get hurt in a car wreck, you're going to have questions. How much is all this going to cost? Especially if you're seriously injured. I'll tell you what you do. Call Ken at 1-800-CALL-KEN. Ken's a lawyer. He knows the law, and they start working fast. How fast? Right then when you call. Call Ken at 1-800-CALL-KEN. What's that number again? 1-800-what? That's right. Call Ken. 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Ken Nunn, injury lawyer. Experience you can trust. Call Ken at 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Passing Fox 59 News, first
Take a look at this. A little boy fights back against an animal twice his size. Dog attack left him with 60 stitches, but it could have been worse. An 85-pound pit bull attacked the 7-year-old just outside a home in Monroe County. Fox 59's Ray Cortopassi has more on how this happened and how that boy got away.
Animal care and control officers from the Monroe County Sheriff's Department appear at a home on Woodbine Drive, southwest of Bloomington, to learn more about what happened here Thursday afternoon, moments after we tried the same.
They were having a birthday party, and the boys were out there, and it jumped up and bit him.
While officers are still putting the facts together, 7-year-old Isaiah Skolak recovers from several bite wounds suffered in an attack from a pit bull in the backyard. Off camera, a family member told us that the little boy managed to fight the dog off by punching him in the face. Apparently, the little boy had studied Taekwondo. She credits that training for saving his life. Isaiah was taken to the hospital for surgery that involved dozens of stitches to his face and needed treatment for broken teeth. But you were out here. Did you seize the animal?
No.
The Sheriff's Department says it didn't have to quarantine the animal. It was put down by its owner. Who that is or how still isn't clear. And while everything points to an accident, investigators say negligence charges haven't been ruled out. Ray Cortopassi, Fox 59 News at 10.
Isaiah's aunt says he was released from the hospital but had to return after his wounds got infected.
Well, we, of course, wish him a speedy and healthy recovery.
No child deserves that.
Oh, God.
Correct.
Terrifying. Well, it is hot, hot, hot outside, and we are looking for some relief.
Isn't the song a feeling hot, hot, hot?
Exactly.
Right,
We want to sing. We should just sing,
no.
Brian.
Play the bongos, Brian.
We've lost them. We've officially lost you guys. And, you know, that's the first thing that goes in this heat is your mind, I suppose. Right? Good evening, everyone. It is a steamy evening across central Indiana. We've been down this road before. Today marks the 20th time that the high temperature topped 90 degrees in Indianapolis. Still feels hot out there at this hour. The downtown temperature is at 89. 79 at Mount Comfort, 79 Lapel. Away from the city, the temperatures have cooled off, and you'll note that there is some patchy fog developing out there too. Beech Grove checks in at 80 degrees, 84 degrees right now in Greenwood. This is amazing heat once again. The heat index really took off this afternoon. We were forecasting that over the weekend it would be comfortable, and here we would get into the hot weather. Not only can you feel it, especially when you walk out from an air-conditioned building, boy, it hits you in the face, but you can see the haze in the atmosphere tonight. Officially at the airport, we're at 85. That dew point's at 71. When it's above 60, it's uncomfortable. Low 70s, it's just downright humid, and no wind out there to mix things up, so you're just trying to beat the heat, staying cool this evening after a high today of 95. That's the second hottest temperature so far this season. Last week, Wednesday, we had a high of 97. Our heat index this afternoon topped out at 101 here in the city. Around the area at this hour, still holding into the 80-degree temperatures from Lafayette, Peru, Muncie, Bloomington down to 75. Seeing some fog there. Already had some reports of some patchy fog up towards Frankfort. Our high today officially 95. It was as warm as 93 in Columbus and Bloomington. They hit 94 in Terre Haute, 89 the high temperature in Muncie. With dew points in the mid-70s, it's not going to fall off. The temperature will not drop much tonight. And again, our heat index right now calculated at 91 degrees in Indianapolis. Our heat index over 100 again tomorrow afternoon. It will probably be higher than it was this afternoon. We think anywhere between 103 to 109 is a good bet, especially from Indianapolis and points south. All these areas shaded in red are for an excessive heat watch that's in effect through 8 o'clock tomorrow night. By lunchtime tomorrow, that heat index will already have reached about 100 degrees here in the city. By 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be looking at a heat index of maybe as high as 106 down in Spencer, Seymour 106, so it's not out of the question that we could be pushing towards 110-degree heat indices tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures hit mid to or low 100s across Kansas. Little Rock at 100 at one point had a heat index of 114 degrees. The heat index in St. Louis, even at this hour, is still 102. Feels like it's 104 in Little Rock. Not only do we have the advisories for the heat, but 16 different states are blanketed with heat advisories, and it's beneath this hot dome, this clearing out of the skies across the central U.S. where the air is sinking, it's compressing. Anytime you compress a gas, it heats up. This is where the hot weather is at. Around this perimeter of heat is where thunderstorms fire. Seeing a few right now in Illinois. All our computer models still suggest that this area will ignite with storms and then track into northwestern Indiana towards daybreak. Then they'll fade out and then fire again as a front moves toward the area in the afternoon. But it's a rim of fire pattern that keeps the chance for thunderstorms going here as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And with that threat of thunderstorms, the possibility of beating down this heat somewhat. But I think much of the day Tuesday will be dry with a scattered thunderstorm possible in the afternoon. 74 tonight. Some pre-dawn thunderstorms are not out of the question. That hazy sunshine, hot and humid tomorrow. Heat index well into the low 100s with a high of 96 degrees. We will stay hot and humid through Saturday, but a break from the heat comes on Sunday. Much cooler weather coming in next week.
Now, all over everything Indiana sports. This is IndySportsNation.com.
The Colts getting back to work this morning after taking Sunday off from training camp in Anderson. The team preparing for the preseason opener this Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium against San Francisco. And how about the blue helmets? They're part of the throwback uniforms for this weekend. A full practice this morning and a special teams only session this afternoon. Not quite full participation, however. In fact, some notable names not in action today. Held out of practice were Jeff Saturday and Jacques McClendon for rest. The same goes for tight end Dallas Clark and wide receiver Pierre Garçon. Charlie Johnson remains off the field after an ankle injury suffered on Friday. Well, first-round pick Jerry Hughes has been a healthy participant for every practice since signing his rookie contract last week. Indy Sports Nation's Jeremiah Johnson catches up now with the speedy defensive end.
Last Monday, Jerry Hughes was the new guy getting all the attention.
Came up here, signed the contract, and hit the field.
1 week later, he's just another rookie getting used to the training camp routine.
I couldn't tell you what today's date. I've just been focused and just been on that grind.
That grind includes occasionally carrying elders' equipment.
Carry shoulder pads, carry helmets, get waters for the rooms.
And learning everything he can from the Pro Bowl defensive ends, Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis.
I'm always, in their ear talking to them, asking them, hey, what do you think about this? What about this move? Something like that.
Jim Caldwell got a big old grin on his face when talking about adding Jerry Hughes to his pass rushing arsenal. But the big question is who will be on the field on those critical third down plays?
Both of those guys are great competitors, and but I do think there's still there'll be time that they're going to need a break from time to time.
We could see Freeney, Mathis, and Hughes rushing the passer on the same play.
Maybe add a third rusher in the scheme and use them all at the same time.
That three-pronged pass rushing attack is fun to think about, but right now Jerry Hughes is focused only on Sunday and his first NFL experience.
To kind of be in there in that whole game atmosphere is going to be a lot of fun.
Having fun in Anderson, Jeremiah Johnson, IndySportsNation.com.
Hey, thank you, JJ. In hoops, the Fever back on top of the Eastern Conference after posting back-to-back wins. The most recent W, though, coming at a price for Jessica Davenport. The Indiana center suffering a broken nose courtesy of that elbow from Phoenix's Diana Taurasi. Davenport will wear a protective mask and should be available for tomorrow night's contest in Los Angeles. And finally, a few unsolicited thoughts now on the Colts' media policies this season at training camp. They've kept Anderson University locked down tighter than the Pentagon, even on move-in day, when reporters were only allowed to talk to Peyton Manning and head coach Jim Caldwell. Over the weekend, the team held a scrimmage, and we were not allowed to videotape one single play. Now, the Colts don't owe the media anything, but this station and others spend thousands of dollars each year covering the team, acting as the eyes and ears of you, the fan. Reduced access for us is ultimately reduced access for you. I'd like to know what you think. Email me here at the station and look for more opinions in the blog section of IndySportsNation.com.
I'm sure a lot of people will be weighing in on that topic.
Why not?
Yeah,
it's interesting.
it is.
The air conditioning's working overtime. We don't have to tell you.
No, we're going to take a look at your wake-up forecast when we come right back.
I'm Ray Cortopassi, and for Indiana News, I'm on it.
I was injured in a car accident.
The insurance company tried to give me a small payment. I called Keller & Keller.
I got more than I thought I'd get.
I was surprised.
They did it for me.
Fast.
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 They even came to my house.
The insurance company knew their name.
Keller & Keller. Power.
Power.
Success.
It made a difference in my case.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller & Keller. Right now.
Folks, this is your captain, and since we'll be about 10 minutes late, the flight attendant will be handing out cash.
Wouldn't it be great if you got paid every time somebody was late? At Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, you'll get paid even if we're 1 minute late. If there's any delay, it's you we pay. Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, the punctual plumber. Call today for a free service call. 877-BEN-1776. That's 877-BEN-1776.
Yep, yep. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. Yep, yep.
I'm on it.
Why should you choose Brown Mackie College?
Faculty and staff are here for you, academically and personally.
Part of this support is making school manageable. One course a month allows time for life and school.
They're like a family, dedicated to you and your success.
So choose Brown Mackie College for your education. It's just what you've been looking for.
Call Brown Mackie College Indianapolis today at 1-866-236-4169. Call now.
You thought it could never happen. You believed the doctor and the hospital would never break the rules. But the fact is, breaking the rules in medicine can cause serious injury, even death. When someone in our community is harmed by medical malpractice, it's important to get help, so what happened to you doesn't happen again. Think about that. Then call us. Get serious. Get Stewart. and get our no-fee guarantee. Call 1-800-3333-LAW.
Not out of the question that we could have a thunderstorm in the area tomorrow morning. You know, there you go. You see it on the radar out to our west. That could rumble into west central or northwest central Indiana towards daybreak. Be sure to join us at 4:30 tomorrow morning. Excessive heat watch in effect again for tomorrow afternoon. Could he have a heat advisory or heat index well over 100 degrees tomorrow afternoon?
So do you think that would cool us off a little bit or no?
Oh, the thunderstorm certainly could, but it just doesn't seem it'll break the back of this heat anytime soon, though.
All right.
Very good.
Okay.
Thanks, Brian. And we thank you for making Fox 59 your choice for news.
News, weather authority updates, and much more.
I'm Eva Pilgrim. When it comes to Indiana news, I'm on it.
This is a test of the Emergency Alert System, EAS. This is only a test.